Hey guys, how you doing? Barry here at the gym at The Point. I wanted to show you 4 mobility exercises that I use quite a lot in a warm-up, just to prepare for a full body session, a lower body session, or even an upper body session. And it's really important that you do warm up your body, not just by jumping on the treadmill and getting your heart rate up, and that's a really good way to warm up as well. But it's important that we do a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of mobility, and really try and loosen off our hips, our lower back, and the bigger muscles in our body as well. So here's 4 stretches that you guys can do pre-workout, or you could do them as part of a flexibility-based routine in the gym or even in your rooms. All right. So the first exercise, we are going to go from this position here, which I'll call the cobra. Okay, and we're just going to try and relax, taking big deep breaths, not overly tensing any part of our body. We're going to hold that for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then we're going to press our hips up and back, and push our hips back to our feet. Crawl your fingertips forward a little bit, and then you're going to feel that stretch through your back, your upper back, your shoulders, maybe even your lower back. Okay? You're just starting to mobilize and stretch a little bit through the big muscles down the side of your body. Come back to the first position. You may feel a little bit of a stretch coming through your stomach. If we look up to the ceiling, we're going to increase that stretch a little bit. Remember to stay relaxed, focus on your breathing, and just move between each point at a nice controlled, steady pace. Once you've done 1 or 2, you can maybe just speed up a little bit and just hold for 1 breath at each point. It's just a nice way to start. It's not too intense. Just waking you up a little bit and getting a little bit of a stretch through the front and the back of the body. Do 1 more. And from there, we're going to come up into a little press up position. Okay? If you find that too hard, you can keep your knees on the floor. But the aim is to bring our foot up and round the side of our hand. So like I said, if you find that too difficult or too intense, you can drop your back knee to the floor. I'm not sure if you can see that on an angle. You can have your back knee on the floor, or you can take the knee off the floor. And if you do that, you will feel a much bigger stretch. Okay? So we'd hold that for a couple of breaths. Here you're going to feel the stretch through your groin, your adductors, your hip flexors on the other leg. So it's hitting quite a few different places, and then you come around the other side. So this is quite a good stretch to do, particularly if you're going to do some squats or some lower body based exercises, because it's just loosening off the hips. A little tip when you're coming out of this position, try not to drag your foot back. You want to work your hip muscles a little bit and lift the foot. Okay? Once you've done a couple each side, you could then start to speed things up and just move a little bit more dynamically. 1 more. Good. From there, we're going to keep the same position. Okay? Nice straight line through your back, arms straight. We're going to pull our knee up through the middle of our hands. Okay? And then our back leg, it might want to rotate away like this. We want to keep that knee down on the floor and relax the foot. Not have it tucked under like that. And then from there, just get ourselves in a nice balanced position with our hands forward a little bit, so you can see the angle I've got here. And what we're stretching here is the muscles on the outside of the hip, so the glutes, okay? And this is called the pigeon. Now from there, we're going to take that leg back, so we're in a press up position again, and then slide the other leg through, okay? So for this one, if you find that you are quite flexible, you might be able to get your foot up and round a little bit further, which will create a bigger stretch. If you find it quite hard, then you want to maybe tuck your foot in, so you have much less of an angle, more of a straight line, okay? So easier there. The further you go around with that foot, the more intense the stretch is, okay? So just like the other stretches, we'll start nice and controlled, big deep breaths. And then the other one through. And then we'll just start to speed things up a little bit. So guys, I'm kind of just going through it as a demonstration video and making it a little bit quicker than maybe if I was going through it on my own. But if you guys want to follow along, that's good. We'll do one more each side. We're just moving a little bit more dynamically now. And relax. And then the last stretch we're going to do is from all fours position, resting on the knees. This will be a rest point. We're going to lift our hips up, push through our hands, push the heel of the hands into the mat, like we're doing shoulder press, pressing our body weight back, chin on the chest, hips up to the ceiling, and heels down towards the floor. You're going to feel that stretch across the back of your body, maybe in your lower back, maybe through your hamstrings, but for probably a lot of people, through the lower leg, calves. We hold that for a couple of breaths, and then we come back to all fours. Watching we're not arching our back too much. Keep our core engaged, keep that back nice and flat. So we'll go back up. And then back to the floor. We'll do one more with those breaths. And then we're going to progress it to a little bit more of a dynamic movement. So we press all the way back, and then we come back out again. And when we're doing a slightly more dynamic version, we want to go a little bit further in the stretch. We want to lift a bit higher with the hips, and press a bit more with the heels. Touch with knees, drive up, push back. One more, drive up, push back, and relax. So from the four stretches there, all mats, all based on the mats, we focus a little bit about stretching here, and obviously here as well. And then we've progressed it a little bit with the second and third stretch. I call them the spider and the pigeon, and it's been focused more around the hips, okay? And then the last stretch, the downward dog, you may have done it in yoga, is focusing more on the back of the body, so like the hamstrings and the calves. Four really quick stretches to go through. They all kind of flow into one another, and you know, a nice routine to do as part of your warm up. I would probably advise you before you do that to go on the bike, hop on the treadmill, go for 5 minutes at a sort of low intensity, and just get the blood flowing, get a little bit warmer, get the heart rate up a little bit, and then you'll get more out of your stretches because you're not completely cold. Alright? Hopefully you found that useful, guys. I will pop other bits and bobs in here over the coming weeks. See you later.